let's just rip this band-aid off. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Hi. It's probably been a while. I imagine there's probably some people who forgot who the fuck I am. I'm HylianJayAppears, otherwise known as Cascade Fairy. I'm the guy who beat Pokemon Legends ZA as Jason. Jay, you're alive. I'm sick though, so that is something. I just want to like talk about like the last few months, because like I feel like why is there a crown next to my head? It's YouTube's little popularity ranking thing, I guess. But I want to talk about the last few months because I feel like I've really like dropped the fucking ball, and I feel like I owe you guys a little bit more of an explanation as to like what's all going on. So basically, things started going wrong in December, like right after the Chasant run ended, like wrapped up, and you know, because like DLC came out, and I did a little bit of the stream of the DLC on my regular profile of Legends ZA, but then shit kind of hit the fan, because then all of a sudden, this is like 3 weeks after I had hit 1,000 subscribers, right? Roughly. My boss pulled me from closing shift over to mids, which threw my entire stream rhythm off, because all of a sudden I couldn't stream at the time that I had, where I had an audience and was growing, because all of a sudden I had to start like trying to go to bed at that time. It wasn't like I couldn't stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning constantly, and my schedule hasn't even been consistent since. So it's been like that for 6 months now. I've been kind of doing these like half closing, half mids. You know, I'll get off like early, but then I have to like I got things to do, and it's been a whole ass mess. And I actually called my boss out on it the other day. I was like, yo, I was like, I'm getting to a point where I don't feel like I can tell you whenever like my channel's doing well, because every time it starts doing well, you fuck with my schedule. And so that was like start of December that happened, right? And that's been an ongoing fight. And then a little bit right before Christmas, my grandma, one of my grandmas went to the hospital. And she later passed away first week of January, like at the end of the first week. She and that stung. She was actually the grandma that is probably responsible for me still being as into Pokemon as I am. Because like I used to go over to her house, and she'd give us, my brother and I, like unsupervised access to the internet, so it was a lot of like playing Pokemon Creator and everything like that, which really fostered that. And so like it was kind of hard playing Pokemon for a little bit, especially because it was like, you know, she wasn't there or anything like that, and it's like when someone's gone, you start remembering all the little things that you didn't think would be important. And so, you know, I started remembering more and more bits, and then, so, you know, getting depressed with that, and then I got sick again at one point in there, too. I've tried to, like, stream a little bit on Twitch. Why is the Elgato frame rate so bad? I don't know. But... so that was the problem, and then it was like still trying to figure out like, all right, what do I do to keep everything going? Like, you know, we're at a point where like we're still at a point where the Jason run is still like raking in a few hundred views a day. Not the challenge run itself, but like just the reactions. And so it's like I was starting to feel like I was gonna be hamstrung. Like I had to do just song content, or else like nobody was gonna watch anything. I mean, that's kind of like part of what it has kind of turned into a little bit. And so it's like I want to try and figure stuff out, but you know, also it's I've also kind of got a little bit of burnout too, and I know burnout is like, you know, never an excuse or whatever, as some people have told me. And I hate trying to say it's burnout because I know that's not going to be good enough for people. Yeah. Oh, life did happen because a few days ago my cousin's 3-month-old son passed away too. So we're now having to navigate that, and that's never something you want to have to deal with. So we've had two deaths in the family in the last 6 months. My brother has now also moved out of the house, so you know, I don't really have, like, him and his fiance moved out. They're getting married next month. But now I have like nobody at home to really talk to about, you know, a lot of nerdy stuff, because like my parents don't really understand like what I'm talking about. So, you know, it's been rough. Depression has been real. So, part of that is, you know, still trying to find out like what to do, what to keep that spark lit. And I won't lie, like it's been very hard to keep that spark lit. Yeah. So, like right now I am sick, so haven't done anything wrong. I don't know. I feel like it. I feel like it's been a letdown because like I was growing and everything like that. Like we were doing so good. Like I'm still willing to dress up as Levan if I hit 2,500 by the end of the year. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'd be surprised if I even hit 1,250. But you've been going through a lot of bullshit recently. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did I even? Oh, I guess unless you keep an eye on the community tab. I did get into an argument with my boss because she did tell me one day that she hopes I never become successful at streaming, which that fucking stung. And then like later when I called her out on it, because I had stopped talking to her about, you know, personal life stuff, and I called her out on it, she's like, "Oh, I don't remember saying that." Yeah. Exactly, control the stuff that's in our control. I don't mean to sound preachy, but I'm being kind of serious. Yeah, it's just been a rough go, and it's like it sucks because it's like any time I get momentum, like life has to rear its head, and I hate that it keeps sounding like an excuse. Like I genuinely am not happy that, you know, once again we're in this spot where I have to come in and do an update video because, you know, we were doing so well. But, you know, once again, here we are. Yeah, man. You doing well for yourself? Not really, Keldon. That's what I was just kind of explaining. How dare you grieve your loved ones? Oh, so yeah. Speaking of that, this is kind of like the fucked up thing, right? I was not allowed. I was not allowed bereavement. So they tricked me out of taking bereavement leave. Because they initially told me, it's like when my grandma passed away, that I could either take bereavement that day or for the funeral. I wouldn't get both. And so I was going to take it for the funeral. And then my boss just goes, "Oh, no, you don't need it for the memorial. We'll just have that be your regular day off that week." So I was like, I still got to go, but it was like, you know, I was not allowed to really like grieve immediately. Like I had to go right back to work. And I found out that my grandma died like an hour before I had to clock out. So that really that sucked. So she doesn't like it when I don't want to say like she's an asshole, because that could get me fired probably, because you know I have a feeling, because she stalked me on social media before, like even after I took her off Facebook. It's just there's things that she does that really irritate me, and I know not all of it is her fault. It's also like corporate stuff probably, but well, she doesn't know like the YouTube channel name, but a couple of my other coworkers do, and she does ask them about me when I start, you know, acting weird or anything like that. Was my aunt's funeral last year because of work problems? I know that all too well. Yeah, it has not been a great time. And then like trying to get YouTube and Twitch, you know, ever, you know, part of me is like I now want to like really get Twitch and YouTube, you know, especially Twitch rolling, because I'm monetized on there. I want to get that going more because like I'm monetized over there, so it's like then, you know, I don't have to, you know, hear stuff like that from people at work or anything like that, or you know, being told that like, oh, we're glad you're back. It was hell when you're on vacation. We wish you didn't go. So it's like the vacation I took felt less like a vacation, just more like a here, catch up on sleep, because you have to go right back to doing all the same stuff again. So I'm sorry if anybody's been like waiting for more content from me, but it's like I'm kind of in a depressive episode right now, more or less. Like you know, it's like I'm hoping I can get the ball rolling, and you know, hoping maybe I can get some friends to show up for some stuff, because like I'm getting to a point where it's like I'm growing worried about myself. Yeah. I'm praying you can find a better job one day. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm making like $27 an hour right now. It's like I can't really find much better in my area that doesn't involve, you know, working for the government. And I think right now I really don't want to do that. Yeah, it's like I'm sorry if this just seems like a cop-out to say like, hey, I've been, you know, uber fucking stressed and dealing with life stuff, and that's why, you know, I haven't been able to deliver content, because I know there's people out there who probably think like that. I'm not saying like specifically anybody watching is, but you know, I'm just, you know, heading that off at the pass. Because like I've noticed like some it's, I like less than 15-hour unit place is not mega expensive. Yeah, but I like Washington. I like my state. My state's beautiful. I love it. Oh, we got a lot of garbage in there, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay. Oh. It's just... I'm... It's kind of one where it's like, the spark's kind of there, but the motivation isn't because it's being sucked dry by everything going on in life. You know, and, you know, political climate doesn't help either. I know people aren't going to like that answer either, but, you know, surprise. The Midwest got you covered $700 a month for rent on top of that. Dude, that's like one of my paychecks, basically. Hi, Jay, I missed you. Hi, Mr. Hunter. I'm sorry I've been, away. Just, life's been fucking me over a little bit between, you know, the work schedule not really supporting streaming very often. And then, you know, Grandma died. And then, like, a few days ago, my cousin's son, 3-month-old son died. So, like, it hasn't been great. I think it's funny that I did one stream Pocopia and then just beat the game on my own, though. I do need to finish this area eventually. More storage. But it's like, lately, especially on like Twitch and stuff like that, I've been throwing like, my boss telling me that, you know, she hopes that I would never become successful. That did kind of really make me want to like focus a little bit more on some of the Twitch side too, because, you know, obviously I can make I can make money over there, right? I'm already monetized. Rather, you know, over here, not so much. But it's really come down to, you know, also like a little bit like I'm not sure what to do, because like anytime I get a, you know, like I said, anytime I get momentum, all of a sudden something in my life goes wrong. I have been so fucking sick and tired of fighting Murphy's Law that it's like, it's either something that like, you know, I personally like won't continue playing a game that I was growing really well for playing with, like, you know, like I stopped playing Genshin Impact because like a lot of the fan base turned out to be pretty fucking toxic. And then the company also turned out to be toxic, which did not help matters. But now it's like, I feel like I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And right now, so far, like the only thing that's kind of stuck so far is Jasant, which I'm surprised is still doing so dang well. I haven't said get it sucks, you have nothing to apologize for. I feel like I do, because like I had Sony plans like come early December before shit went sideways, you know, and then like when I was trying to like find a way to like navigate it all, then, you know, Grandma ended up hospital, passed away. It just wasn't great. So yeah. So it's been hard to stream with the work schedule because now I'm moved over like mid shift, and you think that means I could stream earlier, but when I get home, a lot of time like my dad's blasting copyright, you know, music that would get me copyright struck. I can't stream with that going on, so you know I have to wait, but by the time I wait and he goes to bed, all of a sudden I have to start looking at going to bed. Please don't hurt yourself for being a human person. I can't make any promises. But it's been one thing after the other the last 6 months. So, and it's like it's gotten to the point like there's been a couple times I've thought about just quitting, like wiping, and then maybe like down the road starting over. But I don't know, man. Is that a freaking space shuttle? I'm not trying to minimize your feelings, I promise. I just don't want you to feel bad for things out of control. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just... I've just been worried, like, people have been, like, upset or irritated or, like, either have unsubscribed or been on the cusp of unsubscribing because, like, you know, where was the Jasant DLC content? Where was all this other stuff that I was talking, like, early December wanting to do, and that, like, why didn't any of that happen? And it's like I've talked a lot about like stuff I want to do and like try to make plans so many times here, but it just constantly it feels like that shit goes sideways. And I'm getting really tired of it. Cause like I don't know if it's just like the universe trying to tell me is like, hey, just give up, dude. Like, you are not destined for this. Or not, so it's like... Every game, play through a good audience will feel the same way. That's the thing, I keep losing my audience, usually. Like, we've had multiple points in the history of the channel where we've had, like, average of 10 viewers. And then it's just gone down because like something happens with life, and I'm not able to come on here and stream. And like I'm sorry I've kind of let everybody down a bit. You know, I wish I really wish I could be more consistent with it, because I think that's also what stopped me a lot from growing, is like I haven't really been like super consistent too, which has kind of killed the chance of being monetized and whatnot, is because I keep sliding back constantly. Oh, welcome in, Legend. Just talking about last 6 months' why things that I had planned didn't happen and went off the rails. Kind of starting with my boss changing my work schedule around, and then my grandma dying. So, yeah. Kind of came in at an awkward time. Most people don't fully appreciate you haven't let anyone down your human person in actual life. Yo, dude, you gonna play non-Nintendo titles? I'd love to see a Star Wars Fallen Order Hollow Knight stream, some of my favorite games. I've debated on Hollow Knight, but a lot more than... I actually ran a poll recently on my community tab, because if you guys don't know, I love using my community tab to like, throw out questions, although over half the answers are usually from people who aren't subscribed. But... yeah, a little over half say to keep the channel, like, Nintendo focused. So basically, non-Nintendo stuff is probably primarily going to be on Twitch, unless it's like a party game kind of thing, like Phasmo or Among Us. I've canceled a lot of stuff too. It's normal. Also, sorry for loss. Yeah, it's been rough, because then, like, earlier this week, my cousin's 3-month-old son also passed away. So, as we're like, getting over grandma, all of a sudden the youngest member of the family passes away. But like, yeah, on Twitch, so twitch.tv/CascadeFairy, I actually did just get a PS5 recently, and I did start Ghost of Tsushima on there. So like, there is some non-Nintendo stuff that is happening. Star Wars, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I might have to like. That's one where it's like, maybe, but I've also been spoiled on some cutscenes in the Star Wars, in the Fallen Order and Survivor games. So it's one where it's like, it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be like as entertaining, because like I've already seen like some of the big clippable parts. People are voting for Nintendo stuff on the channel and they proceed to not watch it. Don't be mad at yourself. No, it's, well, the Nintendo stuff is more recently become, you know, back to the basics kind of. Because like, I started this channel playing Pokemon Fire Red, a randomizer Nuzlocke on a Kindle Fire, on an emulator on a Kindle Fire, and that was like 8.5, 9 years ago. I think it was about 9 years ago. That was our first stream series. It was Pokemon Fire Red randomized Nuzlocke, and I was doing it all on a Kindle Fire. That was horrible. So Fire Red was my first ever Nuzlocke game. Yeah, I did that, and I did like 3 or 4 episodes of Emerald, and then I kind of like, I ditched Nuzlocks because I started like, it was like I started going to like the used game store in town. I was realizing like, oh wait, buying the used games supports local business. Oh, okay. And that kind of started like my bit where it's like and then you'd hear about like with the Wii U failing, and then like Nintendo CEO or whatever like cut his own salary so he didn't have to fire anybody. I was like, no, I kind of like Nintendo in that regard. Learning to accept myself even when I make channel mistakes or lose views, especially since that's not because of me, and you should too. Yeah, it's just been hard with life, and then trying to keep up with trying to reclaim the growth over and over again is what really gets to me. It's like, because like I said, multiple times I've gotten to the point where it's like the channel's growing, doing great, like we're vibing, and then life hits you with that sucker punch that just like takes away all the momentum. Like my boss changing even if my grandma didn't pass away, it probably still would have hit pretty hard, because all of a sudden, you know, with my work schedule getting thrown through a loop, you know, no longer really being able to stream at a time when I had an audience, which means the algorithm's gonna just, you know, take me out of it at that point. What do you think of the Winds Waves trailer? Gonna pick it up when it releases? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick up both of them. Like, yeah, technically I probably should only get one, but I'm just gonna pick up both. You know, I have done that the last few generations. I just hope they're not on. I just hope they're on physical media and not like a key card. There's a bug on your lamp. Get it off your lamp. But it's gonna be interesting to see what Winds and Waves does. I'm just like, obviously we need more info on it, but I hope they learn some things, or you know, we'll see if they took any notes from their development time on Beast of Reincarnation, maybe. Which is probably a non-Nintendo game I'm considering playing on the main channel here. Because it is made by Game Freak. Like, I've had so many other video ideas that I just haven't gotten around to, either for lack of time or just the fact that, you know, these days I get home and I'm exhausted. The bug is gone. Yeah, it's just It's been a fight. Yeah, screw those digital keys. I like having the actual game disc and cartridges. Okay, so here's the funny thing with that. Nintendo was late to that. PlayStation did that already with the key card, because I found out when I'm getting the PS5 and putting in Tsushima, all of a sudden it starts downloading the entire game. I'm like, wait. And I look up online. I had to look up, and I was like, wait, are all PlayStation physical games just literally key cards? And they're like, yep, same with Xbox. Nintendo started doing it, and everyone's like, why? And I'm just like, why isn't everybody jumping Nintendo shit if they're the last ones to it? Sorry if I disappear sometimes, because I just do that, and then if I do nothing personal, I just get anxious. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Anyway, I just want to say that once I figure out all that streaming stuff, you can clip farm me on Twitch and YouTube as much as you want. I gotta decide if I want to move those VODs to a different channel or not, and then start trying to like upload the VODs elsewhere, so that way they're not affecting the Pokemon stuff on this channel. Because how from what I've heard, how the YouTube algorithm works now, it counts streams and videos as the same. So even if your streams are popping off, if your videos aren't doing well, it's going to hurt you. It's gonna start taking your streams out of the algorithm. And I do think that that's absolutely ridiculous on YouTube's part, but you know, they've always been ones to make it harder and harder and harder. The other way I can help I want to? Yeah, I need to save up money, commission you for thumbnails. Because I was actually thinking, like, if I can edit the Phasmo, when we did Phasmo the other day, I did have an idea for a thumbnail for that one. I know, I need to do that. I need to commission. I need to stop spending money so frivolously on other stuff. Let's just do this. And sorry I sound kind of awkward also today. It's just like I am, like I put in the description, like I am battling like a cold. You know, and I'm having to still go to work while sick. Just because like our work's policy is that if you call out the day before, day of, or day after a day where you would get holiday pay, you lose the holiday pay. Even if you're calling out sick, you lose the holiday pay. And if you work on the holiday, it's double and a half, so I'm like, I don't want to lose that. Yeah, and if you need me to send you my VODs, trays, just let you know. Well, sorry, just let me know. I can try and like finagle a way to do that. Yeah, I could probably just like put it on a Google Drive or something. There's a hole there. I need like bulldoze this entire area eventually. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of like short answer of like, well, short / long answer of like why everything's been, you know, not great. Why I haven't really been streaming much this year compared to like what we were doing in between October and November. You know, I'm hoping I can eventually get back to it and, you know, make subscribing worth it. It's probably gonna take a little bit. You know, I'm hoping like once hours go down and fall again, or even like my next vacation, probably trying to stream a little bit more, unless because like I don't think any of my friends in the area are really actually gonna want to go out and do much. You know, we're gonna have to wait and see on some of that. But with that all said, I think just because like I can feel my nose getting more congested here. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. So, like I said, I'm sorry I haven't really been around as much lately. Just a lot of life gets gotten in the way. And if that just seems like a cop-out excuse to you, I'm sorry. If that's a deal breaker, you unsubscribe. I can't fault you. But for those who stick around, thank you so much. I mean, we're still at 1,240 subscribers ish. I think, I don't know. It could have gone down by me streaming. So yeah. With that all said, thank you everybody so much, and hope to see y'all later. Bye.